My name is James Mejia, and I'd like to be your next mayor. And let me tell you why. We're in some difficult economic times right now, very difficult budget times. But I believe it's my experience that can guide the way and make the path for getting out of some of those times. And it's going to take all of us to pull together, to row in the same direction to get it done. And I believe it's a record of collaboration to bring everyone together that can make this happen. But let me be a little more specific. We've got a $100 billion budget gap this year. We've got another $100 billion budget gap next year. And we have yet to feel the effects of the state cuts as they'll affect the city and the federal cuts as it affects the city. And I'm the only candidate that you'll hear from tonight and throughout the campaign that has served in the cabinet of a former mayor. And having served in the third largest department, the Department of Parks and Recreation, I've been at that table to talk about the trade-off between library hours and park maintenance and the quality of our streets and the maintenance of those streets. So I've done it before and I can do it again. In that department, we had 2 successive years of 10% budget cuts and still managed to expand that park system by 25%. And I think when we look at what we need to do, it's going to be about job creation. And it's going to be about investing in the city. In the Office of Economic Development, I managed the small business loan program for the city. And we spent millions of dollars investing into small firms throughout Denver. And when you consider that 95% of all the firms in Denver have less than 100 employees, it means that we better spend time on our small businesses to help them grow. But we also better make sure that they have access to capital. When they have city contracts, we should be holding the city to the same standard that businesses hold each other with 30-day payment plans. We need to make sure that when the city pools our resources and when we contract with businesses, that we're supporting our own businesses first. So it may surprise you to know that when a business writes their occupational privilege tax check, that check gets sent to Texas. And along with it go the jobs. So let's make sure that when the city is out procuring services, that we're showing leadership in where we do that. Procure those services right here in Denver if they're available, and make sure that the jobs stay right here in Denver. You know, I first started paying attention to politics in 1983 when a young man named Federico Pena stood on the banks of the South Platte River and said, "We can do better than this." He challenged all of us as a city that we can do better. And I think we have an opportunity to take his vision and expand it. So from Overland Park in the south, to the Gates redevelopment at I-25 and Broadway, to Sun Valley, the poorest neighborhood in Denver, to Elitch's, to Platte River North. We have an opportunity to build new neighborhoods with transit-oriented development as Fast Tracks mirrors the river. We have an opportunity to expand parks and make sure that that expansion keeps pace with our growth in population. And we can break down the barrier that the river has been for so many years and give it back to the people of Denver as an amenity. We've only done that in one area, the Central Platte Valley. And I propose that we can do that in many neighborhoods along the river. Because if a city like San Antonio can add $50 million back to their economy by opening up their river, the city of Denver can do that too. Now, when Federico Pena laid out that vision, he challenged us. And that's why I'm so proud that today he endorsed my campaign and he talked about seeing the vision all the way through and making sure that what he started can get finished all along the Platte River. That's the opportunity that we have. But take the example of Sun Valley neighborhood, where transit-oriented development will be a reality, where the Greenway Foundation will open up the river and add parkland. That's one side of Sun Valley, the poorest neighborhood in Denver. And if we can do it in that neighborhood, we can do it in every neighborhood. The other side of the neighborhood is federal. So let's make sure that this new market initiative does not get stalled where it is now, but that it gets expanded to include Federal Boulevard, so that when we think of the grand boulevards in Denver, we don't just think about 17th Avenue or Broadway or Lincoln, but that we also think about Federal Boulevard. So know that you will have in me a partner to get that done, to expand the initiative, to make sure that we're serious about supporting our small business along to support that initiative, and to work with you as residents and neighbors to master plan to make sure that Federal is the vision that you want to see. My name is James Mejia, and I'm asking for your support on May the 3rd. Thank you very much.